بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم. We greet you on this the 27th day of the month of Jumadi al-Ula with Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, a greeting of peace. And our video is in connection with Peru and what is happening in Peru. And my title for the video is Peru, Sharks and Sardines. I remember as a student, I had just graduated from the Alimia Institute of Islamic Studies in Karachi in Pakistan in 1971 at the age of 29. And I returned to Trinidad and I was seeking a job to earn my livelihood. And I applied for a post in the foreign ministry. And I was interviewed, and they said, we would like to have you in the foreign ministry, but we want to send you back to university to study international relations. And I got a government scholarship to go to the Institute of International Relations of the University of the West Indies. I have studied in many universities, yes. And I have had great teachers, but nothing can compare to the 1 year that I spent as a postgraduate student at the University of the West Indies Institute of International Relations during the academic year 1972 to 73. What made a difference most of all was that this was the year when the Institute passed to local control. Before this, the Swiss government, through the Graduate Institute of International Studies in Geneva, had established the Institute in Trinidad to train diplomats. But they were running it for the initial period of time. And in 1972, the local people took over from the Swiss. And so the government of Trinidad and Tobago chose a scholar to be the director of the institute, and he took over in the year when I became a student, and his name was Dr. Leslie Manigat from Haiti. He'd done his PhD from the Sorbonne in France, and he was a dynamite. Oh yes, he was a dynamite of a scholar, and I was enthralled. I was taken out of this world when I studied for that 1 year, and he was teaching me. And it was while I was studying international relations, international economics, that I was introduced to the Latin American scholar entitled, his name was Juan Domingo Alvarado, and he wrote a book entitled Sharks and Sardines, Sharks and Sardines, to explain the economy in Latin America. Latin America meaning South and Central America, not North America. Latin America, the economy is always sharks and sardines, meaning that you have one part of the economy controlled by the elite, and the rest of the economy are sardines who are being devoured by the sharks. It is not an economy in which wealth is circulating through the economy. That's a healthy economy. One day for you, one day for me. Allah can intervene in the economy and take from some and give to others. كَيْ لَا يَكُودَ الدُّولَةَ بَيْنَ الْأَغْنِيَاءِ مِنْكُمْ, says the Quran. So that wealth should not circulate only amongst the wealthy. What does the Quran say? She says Allah does not want that wealth should circulate only amongst the wealthy. So the rich remain permanently rich, and the poor are imprisoned in permanent poverty. Nowhere in the world was this more entrenched than in Latin America. And so one Domingo Alvarado wrote this book entitled Sharks and Sardines, and I loved it. I loved it. The Marxist scholars of economics were the ones who did the best job in explaining and exposing the system of exploitation. The Marxist scholars, they did the best job of exposing the system of exploitation. And the Marxist scholars were based mostly in Cuba. But there are many other distinguished names all over Latin America. And what did the United States of America do? What did the CIA do? When the people attempt to put in place a government that would protect the sardines and rein in and contain the sharks, they will bring about regime change with their gunboat diplomacy. They did it to Salvador Allende in Chile, and he was murdered in his palace itself, the presidential palace. They did it and they offered no apologies for having killed him. They did it again in Venezuela. Hugo Chavez attempted to take control of the state and the economy for the benefit of the people. And so wealth would reach the people, and to contain and control the elite who all had all the wealth. And what they did, they waged war upon war upon war upon Hugo Chavez, usually propaganda war. Everybody wanted to turn away from Hugo Chavez, and now Nicolas Maduro as well. They did it in Bolivia. They did it all over Latin America. Whenever a leader emerged who posed a threat to them, they killed him. And now for Peru. And it's the same story all over again in Peru. That the Sardines, the sharks were in control of the economy and of the military and of the government. And the sardines were all being oppressed over and over and over again for centuries and centuries, for a long, long time. Until in the last election, the sardines succeeded in getting one from their midst to become the president, Castillo. And from the time he became the president, the sharks in the Congress, the sharks in the military made life so miserable for him, with so much opposition, the way Trump was treated in the United States, that he could not do anything. They attacked him left and right and center, until eventually, after about 2-3 years as president, they eventually wanted to impeach him, and he decided to suspend the Constitution and disband the Parliament. And they sent him to jail. Yes, they took over and they sent him, and his vice president betrayed him, and she now is the president. And they have him in jail, and they say you're going to remain, the court says you're going to remain there for 18 months. 18 months? And so what has happened in Peru is that they miscalculated the way the Shah of Iran miscalculated. So too the elite in Peru miscalculated. Let me say it to you one more time. Someone is going to translate this video in Spanish, and you'll be able to listen to it in Peru. That in the same way that the Shah of Iran miscalculated in Iran, so too you have miscalculated in Peru. And what happened in Iran is now coming to you in Peru. that the masses are rising up. The masses are rising up. And as the masses rise up, the military have to oppress them. And as people are being murdered and killed by the armed forces, the ministers are resigning from the cabinet. And they're deserting the elite, the way rats jump off a sinking ship. And so the story of Peru is a story has been written over and over and over again all over Latin America. That unless and until you bring justice, you'll never have peace. Unless you bring justice, you cannot have peace. Unless you give the people freedom, you cannot have peace. And that's the struggle that Imran Khan is seeking in Pakistan, to recover freedom for the people, to recover justice, and to raise the poor who are being imprisoned in permanent poverty. And so may we pray that we may see a resolution to the problem in Peru in which justice will prevail over injustice. Thank you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.